Imagine vanishing without a trace. No warning. No struggle. No goodbye. Just gone. Your phone found abandoned. Your headphones tangled on the ground. Your family begging for answers on national television. And then, 22 days later, you reappear. Bruised. Chained. Starving. You say you were kidnapped. The country believes you. But what if the real story was darker than the crime itself? November 2nd, 2016. Northern California. A 34-year-old mother of two leaves her home for a jog. She doesn't take her car. She doesn't take her wallet. Just her phone and earbuds. Hours pass. She doesn't return. Her husband comes home from work and notices something strange. The house is quiet. She's not there. He checks her phone location. It hasn't moved. He uses Find My iPhone. It shows a spot less than a mile away. He drives there. On the ground. He finds her phone. Still connected to her earbuds. Strands of blonde hair caught in the wires. No blood. No signs of a struggle. Just silence. He calls 911. Within hours. The story spreads. A young mother missing during a jog in broad daylight. Search teams flood the area. Volunteers comb through fields. Helicopters circle overhead. The FBI joins the investigation. Her husband goes on camera, crying, pleading for her safe return. The public rallies. This feels like every family's worst nightmare. A random abduction, a predator hiding in plain sight. For 22 days there is nothing. No ransom demand. No confirmed sightings. No solid leads. The theories grow darker. Human trafficking. Cartels. A hate crime. The longer she's gone, the more fear spreads. Then, early on Thanksgiving morning, a 911 call comes in. A woman has been found on the side of Interstate 5. She is partially restrained. Her wrists bound. Her body covered in bruises. She looks severely underweight. It's her. She tells investigators she was abducted by two masked Hispanic women. She says they held her captive, beat her, branded her, and starved her. She describes loud music playing to drown out her screams. A closet. Chains. Constant fear. The media erupts. She is no longer a missing person. She is a survivor. Her husband releases an emotional statement thanking everyone who prayed for her return. The community celebrates. But investigators are cautious. Her story is detailed. But selectively detailed. She remembers certain sounds and moments clearly, yet struggles with timelines. She can describe music playing, but not clearly describe the layout of the house where she was supposedly held. She claims she escaped, but the explanation lacks specifics. There are no eyewitnesses placing two masked women in the area. No surveillance footage. No vehicle description. And then comes the first major inconsistency. DNA collected from her clothing does not belong to a woman. It belongs to a man. If two women kidnap her, why is there unidentified male DNA? For years, the public believes the case has simply gone cold. But investigators keep the file open. In 2020, advances in genetic genealogy, the same technology that helped identify the Golden State Killer, allow authorities to re-examine the DNA. This time, they get a match. The DNA belongs to a man in Southern California. Not a stranger. An ex-boyfriend. When questioned, the man tells investigators something shocking. She was not kidnapped. She was with him voluntarily the entire time. According to federal authorities, weeks before her disappearance, she had reconnected with this ex-boyfriend in secret. On the day she vanished, she intentionally left her phone behind. She climbed into his car and left town. For 22 days, while search parties looked for her and the nation worried. She was staying at his apartment. Not chained. Not tortured. Not held against her will. At some point, investigators say, she asked him to help create injuries to make her story believable. She lost weight deliberately. She inflicted wounds on herself. She even branded herself. When she was ready to return, he drove her back north and dropped her off along the highway. She bound herself lightly and waited until someone found her. The kidnapping story was entirely fabricated. The performance was complete, and it worked for years. The case shifts from a story about abduction to a story about identity and deception. Authorities later reveal there was no ransom plot, no trafficking ring, no violent captors. Instead, it appears she was seeking attention, escape, and control over her narrative. In a matter of weeks, she transformed from an unknown suburban mother into a national headline. She became the symbol of survival. Questioning her meant questioning a victim. And society instinctively protects victims. That protection became a shield. But lies eventually unravel. In 2022, she was arrested and charged with making false statements to federal agents and committing mail fraud. During the investigation, she had received more than $30,000 in victim compensation funds, money intended for genuine crime survivors. She later pleaded guilty and admitted the kidnapping was a hoax. She was sentenced to prison and ordered to pay restitution. Her husband filed for divorce. The community that once rallied around her now felt betrayed. The damage extended beyond wasted investigative resources. Law enforcement agencies had devoted thousands of hours to the case. Volunteers had risked their safety searching remote areas. Communities had lived in fear of imaginary suspects. And perhaps most damaging of all, false reports like this can make future real victims harder to believe. When high-profile hoaxes come to light, skepticism grows. Trust erodes. That may be the most lasting consequence. The unsettling truth is that if DNA technology had not advanced, the story might never have been exposed. The fictional captors might still be blamed. The case might still be cited as proof of a random violent kidnapping. For years, she maintained the story under intense scrutiny, under federal questioning, under national media attention. That level of consistency raises uncomfortable questions. Was it pure manipulation? A desperate attempt to escape reality? Or did she begin to believe the version of events she created? This case is not just about a false kidnapping. It is about how easily a compelling narrative can override doubt. It is about how fear amplifies belief, and how powerful the role of victim can be in shaping public perception. Sometimes the most disturbing crimes are not the violent ones. They are the ones that rewrite reality and convince the world to accept the rewrite as truth. If you want more stories like this, subscribe now and don't miss the next one.